Hello everybody, welcome to a new game here. This one's called the Stanley Parable, as you can see here, and this one is based on a mod, or at least a remake of a mod that came out a couple years ago, called the Stanley Parable as well. Now, it's been a long time since I played that mod, so I don't know exactly what it was like anymore. So I don't know if it's going to be an exact remake or just an upgrade graphic-wise and stuff, or whatever. So, that being said, let's just go ahead and get in here and see what's going on. The demo was interesting, so I thought I'd go ahead and give this one a try. Lots of humor involved in this one too, for those of you that don't know anything about it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Until...
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Alright, 427. You don't have much in your office. Yeah, there's not much here. God, I'd hate to work in an office like this. This is just pretty dreary. But anyway, let's get out of here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Nope, nobody here. Anything written on these cups? Who farted, huh? Yeah, you got the same cup. Oh, you got something different. Be my Valentine. Yeah. You hate Mondays, huh? Don't we all?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Really?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Speaking of drinks, can I take a drink? Nope, no coffee. Nope, no soft drinks either.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
What's this stuff say? 5th Annual Subcommittee Meeting of Internal Revenue Analysis for Committees of the Royal Revenue Discussion Club.
Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
You think? Let's continue reading this thing. No girls allowed, huh? The committee hereby proposes the following.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Alright. Alright, so let's finish reading this thing. Alright, we propose the following. That all internal revenues be reviewed exclusively by internal members of royally appointed subcommittees. 2, that human beings accepting the members of the 5th annual subcommittee meeting of internal revenue analysis for committees of the Royal Revenue in Discussions Club. What's that last word? Smell? What? 3. Dude, I am so wasted right now. What the hell? Hereby the following members approve the statement. Oh my god. Now that is too small for me to read. Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. I can't read any of these. They're all too small. General questions about bucket filling. What the crap? Words. No, I can't read any of that stuff. That'd be interesting to read if I could zoom all that in. Alright,
But
skip.
at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Really? It's over here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
This kind of reminds me of a Douglas Adams novel. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000. Really? Can I actually fall off of this thing?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong
Worth a try, I guess.
here. I'm not your editor, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Wow, I actually can. I actually can jump off and kill myself. Alright, so we're back at our office.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so let's continue on.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Who else is over this
was
way?
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, I didn't get enough of it the first time.
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Alright, let's go.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I want to know what's on the other side of this platform.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, don't jump off this time. What's over
Look,
here?
Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? Her who?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
That's a dark room.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
I don't want to pick up that phone. No, I don't want to pick it up. Guess I don't have an option then. Can I unplug it?
As Stanley
Yes,
picked
I
up
can.
the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yep.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Oh, jeez.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations.
Really?
Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real.
Really?
Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Oh, I'm supposed to practice saying that here. No, I won't.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Oh, God.
What welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Guess I go back the way I came. This wasn't here
Now
earlier.
that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
What?
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
So I can't jump off anymore. So I'm going all the way back.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Now we're back here
Now
again.
remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
My other left, right?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, guess I go this way now.
Oh, it's
Uh-oh.
ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that you... My story! You've destroyed my work! Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
What? Really? The whole game gets shut down? Oh. Now it's even worse.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect.
Really?
I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
What happened?
Behave exactly as Stanley would.
What the?
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Really? He's gonna repeat all this again? Can I still go this way?
No!
Nope,
Why did you
apparently
do
not.
that? Quickly, hurry.
Now what?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
Okay, go through this again.
and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Guess I have to go left now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I guess I don't have much of a choice now. It's gonna keep sending me back here, so I guess we'll go left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I hated these training things. To buy a quarterly post-review. A lot of percentages went over here. Teenagers, size of the demographic. What? Space between two. What the crap? Throw something in the idea bin. What the hell? Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market parade. Monetize free to play. What the crap? It's a lot of bad graphs. Oh, everything dropped. Oh, let's continue. Yeah, this way. What does that say? Broom closet. Yeah.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Now we're getting fancy. What's over here? Anything? Nope. Locked. Nope. Oh, this way. Anything over here? Business time.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
Low-res books.
Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the
What the-
passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
It did? Please speak clearly. This game doesn't have voice recognition, does it?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Alright, guess we'll try it. Night Shark 115. Nope. That didn't do anything.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver.
I did.
Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Night Shark 115. I didn't think that would
Okay,
work.
fine. You're
I
not
didn't
going
think
to
so.
do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way?
I did go to the right. You
Say
sent me this
something to
way.
me. Explain yourself, you coward.
The crap? Now what? What the?
When Stanley came to a
The hell is
set of
this?
two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through
Really?
the door.
That's the ending?
Are you listening to me?
Wow.
Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Wow. Wow, so that's another ending. Already two different endings, and we're back at our office, huh? Wow, wow, wow. Alright. So I was just going to do the 1 or 2 episodes of this. What's all the papers on the floor? That's different. I don't know where all these papers come from.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
What's up with all the papers? Let me stop here.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And we know what happens when we go right, so yeah. I guess we'll end this one here, guys. I was just going to do the one video or so showing him what it is, but now I'm tempted to do another one. Just to see what happens if I do go the right way now. And see what other outcomes we can get. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this one, and I thought it was pretty interesting, so... yeah, I'll end this one here in next episode, which wasn't planned, as I said. I guess I'll do another one, and we'll go this way and see what happens with the story. See if we can get past that speaker. So for now, I'll end it, and we'll see you next time.